Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Welcome to the worst writer in the world.
Hello!
So, Howard, you have given me another piece of writing by you that just, appeared magically out of nowhere. The file name is Teen Angst.
Well, do you remember, I mean, it probably still exists, do you remember the platform Wattpad?
Oh, yeah. It's a fanfic thing, right?
Kind
Wattpad,
of
is it? Or is it other things as well?
Yeah, it's other things as well. It's just people going on there, sharing. It's some kind of, it's like a social media network of writers.
Yes.
And I thought that maybe if you were good on it, then maybe you get your book published or something. I don't know. Somebody did some for One Direction fan fiction, and everyone really liked it, so it got published.
Yeah.
But I think it was more, as any social media, is some kind of popularity contest like Instagram and whatever.
Yeah.
But for one morning, I guess I toyed with the idea of pretending to be a teenage girl and writing my own story, because I figured nobody's going to want, on Wattpad, which is basically a lot of teenage girls, I thought nobody's going to want to interact with an old man. So I had this idea that I would
I'm so glad you got distracted and didn't do this. I had this brilliant idea that I would catfish a lot of teenage girls and try and get money out of them.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Is that morally wrong?
Then
Okay,
I guess
but you didn't. At the start of the episode, can we just make it very clear? You didn't do this, right? You didn't actually publish anything on Wattpad, right?
No, I definitely didn't.
Oh,
and Kimberly's not my best friend now. No.
It's all right. I mean, this is so long ago. She would be an adult.
That's right.
She'd be older. Yeah. She'd be older than you now.
Yeah, of course. She is, and she's my mum now.
So you decided that the best way to become a successful writer in the 21st century is to pretend to be a teenage girl, famously way better represented in publishing than white middle-aged men.
Yeah.
And that way you'd get famous because of all the teenage girl money that you'd get.
Yeah, exactly.
This was your idea. But fortunately, it only lasted a morning, because by the time you woke up and got over your hangover, you went, wait a minute, this is utter lies. That's not true at all.
I think the problem was just the idea of having to kind of like other people's things and say, hey, that's great, Tabitha, check out mine. You've
got to interact, right?
You've got to interact, and you've got to spend a lot of time on it. Social media, you have to spend a lot of time on, and I just don't.
Absolutely.
I'd rather just write stuff that nobody ever reads than do that.
Yeah.
Which is what
we've proved that. We've both proved that, right? There's no one can doubt that as a true fact. Neither of us have the patience to become anything on social media, because neither of us want to post anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes we remember to say we've released a new episode, but not always.
I don't, because I don't even know the password to our accounts anymore.
Yeah. I think at least one of them is I like crabs, plus some extra stuff.
Okay, so if you're listening
end,
to this and you'd like to take over our social media, just log in and put
guess what symbols we use. You've also got to guess what email address we use, because that's fucking random as well.
Oh, right.
It's not Man by Cow.
Oh. There you go. So just head over to Twitter, log in.
Yeah.
Start posting.
And no, Twitter is...
Tweet Twitter. Yeah, Tweet Twitter. That's as it's now
Tweet
called.
Twitter, yeah.
Because Elon Musk
famously called
decided
Tweet
to
Twitter.
rename it Tweet Twitter. And I don't know why.
This week it's called Tweet Twitter. But next week, we call something we call Z. He should have changed it to, instead of X, he should have gone a bit further and changed it to Zod, shouldn't he? Zod.com.
Should have done, yeah.
And then instead of tweeting, you could kneel.
Yeah.
There was this kneel on Zod.com yesterday, and it said kneel before Zod.com.
Yeah, it did. Do you think, though, because like we recently looked up Neil before Zod.com and it didn't exist in any form whatsoever, and you couldn't buy it or anything. So do you think that he already like bought it just in case?
He owns it. He's planned. Yeah, he's building up to it. He's going to make X a fairly. He couldn't go straight to Zod because people are like, "What do you mean Zod?" But if he goes X first, and then he's like, "Well, all right, why?" And then he's like, "All right, Z," and then okay, Z didn't work. Okay, Zod.
Yes.
And he's like, you know how when it started, you only had a very small number of characters, like 140 characters or something, and then we made it more characters, or they made it more characters. And then he's going to go, well, after that's too many. And actually, we're going to have a much smaller number of characters. And in fact, you're only allowed to write one thing, and that's Neil before Zod. So now it's a social media platform where you can only write Neil before Zod, but you can write that as much as you like.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not making me any money. Well, now you've got to pay to write Neil before Zod. And otherwise, you can't write Neil before Zod or anything else. Oh, why is there no one on my platform anymore? What happened?
I'd quite like a platform where the only thing you can write is Neil before Zod. because you'd think it, because like at one point you'd feel it had got tired, but then you'd be like, someone would post Neil before Zod and you'd be like, yeah,
and you'd be like,
it's good.
No, this is still
good.
brilliant.
Yeah.
To be honest, you could use Twitter like that if you wanted to. You could start an account probably called something like badly spelt Neil before Zod that just says Neil before Zod over and over again and see if it gets famous.
That's true. In fact, you can do that at home. You don't even need to start an account. We already have one. It's ours. Just remember our email address, and the login is I love crabs or something, and just log in and start saying I love Zod every day. Not I love Zod. Yeah, don't write that. You get it wrong already. Let's
say I love Zod. Let's go one extra step into meaninglessness. All right, it was far too logical before. Yeah. Right, so if you could, everyone start tweeting I love Zod. Yeah. On your own account and on ours, if you can hack into ours, because we never use it, and it's probably going to get deleted soon because we never even log in. Yeah. So if someone could please hack into our account and start tweeting I love Zod every day, and then everyone else reply I love Zod. Yeah. Not also, you got to say exactly the same thing. I love Zod. Yeah. Famous Superman.
No trying to be clever or anything. No posting pictures to kind of support it or
God no.
Just I love Zod. Spelt correctly.
You know, the tragic thing is, hopefully no one will actually do that because it's a stupid idea. But if they did, they'd get it wrong. All right, so you decided to get famous on Wattpad. But then you realised that would take a lot of work, and so you didn't.
Yeah, also I was going to have to write a book that interested teenage young girls. And obviously, because as you see the title, Teen Angst, I decided that it wouldn't be an interesting story. It would be, a story about, like, dating and whatever, I don't know, children do.
This is the other problem, isn't it? You're going, I should write a book that appeals to teenage girls. Wait a minute, I have no idea what appeals to teenage girls. I'm the worst person in the world to do this.
Yeah, well, I knew that teenage boys appealed to them, to some of them.
So you decided to write this. You were going to get famous on Wattpad, but then you realised that it would take work, and you're only really interested in finding a scam that works, not in doing something that takes work, right?
Yeah.
Especially if that thing that takes work is something you but neither want to do nor are capable of doing.
Yes.
That's what you realised, and so you stopped.
Yeah.
But what we have here is as much as you wrote, I guess, like a page and a half, 600 words. It's not very long. It's a very short piece.
Yeah.
But we do get to see the beginning of your big plan to get famous on Wattpad.
Get all that Wattpad money.
The title, it's not actually called, the document's called Teen Angst, but that's not the title. You don't try and appeal to teenage girls by calling your story Teen Angst, do you? That's yelling, I am a middle-aged man, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, it's called, very convincingly, no one would doubt this for a second.
Oh, yeah.
The True Life of Bluebell Jansen. I mean, I don't know, actually. I mean, the thing is, that seems super fake, but I feel like actually all the real stuff seems really fake as well, right?
That's right. So, yeah. I could picture that, actually. That's one of the most convincing, like, niche, like, particular titles I think I've come up with. I can see the cover and everything.
All right, so it's called The True Life of Bluebell Jansen, and then it says first base. I don't know why. Like, that's maybe a a subtitle because it's The True Life of Bluebell Jansen, First Base, then Chapter 1. So Chapter 1 is not called First Base.
Maybe I was
First Base is called
I must
Chapter
have been
1.
planning a trilogy, which means in that case the third book was going to be all about fucking.
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh,
First
no. So
Base
when you say First Base, you mean first book, but also you mean like bit of snogging.
If it doesn't say Chapter 1 First Base, then maybe this book is
says
just
First
about
Base, Chapter 1.
Bluebell Jansen getting her first ever kiss.
Yeah, or it's a part of the book, and the book is split into 3 parts, and the third part of the book is all about fucking.
Fair enough. Good. The climax.
Either way, it's disturbing. All right, so it's in first person, so...
Brilliant.
What's... is it Bluebell Jansen?
Hello, everybody. My name's Bluebell Jansen. Obviously.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I wasn't thinking like that, but you are correct. Yes, that is clearly Bluebell Jansen's voice. Bluebell Jansen, a middle-aged man pretending to be a teenage girl. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm a teenage girl. Look at me, very innocent and sweet.
Yeah.
For someone who claimed to love me, my mother seemed hell-bent on ruining my life.
Oh, no.
Where do you think you're going? She asked, even though she already knew.
Parents.
The party, I said. Not dressed like that. Why not? I said, although I knew the answer. It was older than she was.
Great.
No, the answer was older. What she's going to say is old. She's going to say an old thing now. So, I mean, her words are older than she is. Bit weird. She said, because I say so.
Oh.
Mum, everyone's wearing these. All the more reason, she said, hand on her hip and head tilted in that patronising way of hers.
Oh, no.
Bluebell, you used to be such an individual. My name is Blue.
Oh. What?
My name is Blue. I mean, maybe this character's going to turn out to be non-binary as well. Maybe that's the deal, right? It's like Bluebell. Bluebell seems a very gendered name almost, you know? Mm-hmm. But my name is Blue.
Yeah, but blue means sad or X-rated, right? My name is really dirty. My dirty name.
My name is sad and sexy. I'm a teenage girl, you know. I am definitely not an adult man pretending to be a teenage girl and putting sexy clothes on. Yeah. That's not what's happening here. My name is Blue because I am both sad and sexy.
Well, you know,
and cold because I'm not wearing many clothes.
Yeah, we know all those men that like to dress up in nappies and things like that.
No, I don't know those men.
You introduced me to one the other day.
Are you trying to tell me something about you?
You do. No,
because the only person I talk to is you, and I feel like you're admitting something here.
All those men that you know that you introduced me to, your clients.
I literally only know you. It seems like Howard's telling us something. Yeah. So what have you been up to? So Howard, what's made you happy? What have you enjoyed this week? I put a nappy on. I put a nappy on. I'm pretending to be a baby. Okay. I've been having a few second thoughts about our ongoing working relationship.
No, I'm just thinking that maybe this is actually we've got no proof that Bluebell Jansen is a young girl, other than I mentioned it earlier. What if it is actually a 40-something-year-old man who likes dressing up as a young girl, and this is his what you call it? I don't know what you call it.
His argument with his mother because
it's not his mother. It's like it's a sex worker he hires to come in and pretend to be his mum.
I mean, yeah, but you say that, but what? I don't think there's anything in the dialogue so far that would prevent it from being his mum, who knows full well that he's a 40-year-old man going to a party dressed as a teenage girl.
Yeah. Where do you think you're going?
Yeah, where do you think you're going? She asked, and the party, and she says, not dressed like that, because it's like it's super, like, it's weird. Yeah. And obviously she's old-fashioned. Obviously, if you're a middle-aged man, you want to dress as a teenage girl, that's fine. But not if you then go to a teenage girl's party. That's when it stops being fine, all right?
Yeah.
But, in the right environment, obviously you dress how you like.
Yeah, so he's
the mother knows him.
Yeah. So he's like a teacher, and he's one of the chaperones, because they have to go to parties in America, don't they? They have to go and, like, make sure nobody messes around. But he's going dressed up like everyone else.
Yeah, no, I think this tracks, because, like, she doesn't comment on his dress first. She asks, where do you think you're going? So if he says to the bathroom, she'll be like, oh yeah, fine, fair enough. If you want to go to the bathroom dressed as a teenage girl, that's not a problem. But when he says the school party where I'm a teacher, she's like, not dressed like that. Why not?
Everyone else is wearing
why
them.
Not?
But but you're the teacher.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mum, everyone is wearing these. Yeah. And then she says, all the more reason, which does still track, because, like, they're not teachers, they're children. That is all the more reason why you shouldn't be wearing them, because you shouldn't be dressing like all those teenage girls that you're supposed to be looking after.
Yeah.
And then the mum says, Bluebell, term of endearment, she's his mum. She's been calling him Bluebell since he was a tiny baby. Yeah. Oh, my little Bluebell. Yeah. Bluebell, you used to be such an individual and, not this kind. Actually, you still are an individual, but now it's a very disturbing one.
Yeah, you used to be the only one that wore a suit and trousers at that teenage girls' school, because you're the only man that works.
Yeah. But that was a good thing. Yeah. You shouldn't. You are a teacher. You shouldn't be dressing like the children.
That's right.
My name is Blue. You always wore such distinctive clothes, she went on, ignoring my protest. You used to choose them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, that's definitely true.
Yep.
My mum used to choose my clothes as well.
I think a lot of mums do that.
About 40 years ago.
About 4 years ago, you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I last bought clothes.
She still chooses my socks sometimes.
Yeah.
She chooses my pajamas.
That's why you're wearing those Doctor Who pajamas right now, is
it? Yeah.
Like bright blue Doctor Who pajamas with I love Doctor Who written on them.
Yeah. I love Zod. Yeah.
I love Zod. That's what I see. That's why you're wearing your I love Zod pajamas. Thought that was a bit weird. Anyway, so you used to choose them. And now who chooses them? Me, I said. Clearly. Not if you're wearing what everyone else is wearing. God, she thought she was so smart. Whenever she thought she was being smart, her left eyebrow would inch its way up her forehead, like a caterpillar trying to escape her stupid, stuck-up face. Wow, you're channeling some anger. You're channeling some anger in this teenage girl you're pretending to be.
I guess I thought that teenage girls don't like their parents because I'd seen it in several TV shows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like teenage girls fucking hate their parents in every single TV show.
Shows, yeah.
But then, having this now at my age, lots of people I know who had kids, including girls, have got teenage girls, and they're not that bad, really. They're not as hateful as the ones in that.
All right, so, God, she thought she was so smart. Whenever she thought she was being smart, her left eyebrow would inch its way up her forehead like a caterpillar trying to escape her stupid, stuck-up face. I could have ripped it off and squooshed it.
Yeah, or I could have gone to the Colville Times and told them all about it. It's really big, I told them.
Yeah. Dear Colville Times, my penis is big. My caterpillar is very big. Would you like to send the photographer?
Yeah.
Would you like to do that?
My mum's got a really, really, really big, hard eyebrow. Would you like to send a photographer to look at it? What? What are you talking about? I just sent someone over.
Yeah, so, and it's right now it's trying to escape her stupid stuck-up face, but I feel like squooshing it. Would you like to come take a picture before I squoosh it? Even now, she was so pretty it made me angry. Well, that's a surprise. Just suddenly, and I was really annoyed with my mum, but she was really attractive. She was really hot.
Yeah, that's why it's definitely not his mum, and it's some sex worker he employs to pretend to be his mum.
Even now, she was so pretty and boobly.
The way that my penis is crawling up your forehead. There's something sexy about that.
I don't go all times. I just put my penis on a sex worker's face. Why'd you? What?
Did you say spilled? Did you say I spilled my penis?
I didn't say I spilt my penis. I just put my penis. I probably said I just put my penis. I just put my penis on the sex worker's face. And said, "Why'd you like to come and take a picture of it?" But I am planning to spill my penis on there later. So if you want to take pictures of that as well, you can do. That would be fine with me. Anyway, no, it says, even now she was so pretty it made me angry. Why did I have to take after my father?
Because you are him? Is it because you are him? Is that what it is?
Why did I have to be my own father?
Is this
stupid time travel?
Is this your wife and you're dressing up pretending to be your own daughter? Because your own teenage daughter left home because you were weird. And, or you murdered her and now you dress up as her and like you're hoping your wife hasn't noticed.
Yeah, she has. She's just fucking terrified.
Yeah.
Don't go to a party. It's really bad if you... Oh, better get in character. You're not going to the party dressed like that because the police will arrest you. Anyway, so the last line you may remember from ages ago is the mother was criticising the way that the main character dresses, that Blue dresses. And Blue says, "It's the fashion," I explained calmly and simply, as though she was grade retented.
Brilliant.
Wow, good avoidance of an offensive word there, Howard. Well,
thank you.
Well done for not using the word you obviously wanted to.
Yeah, well, this is 11 years ago, so I was very forward thinking, right?
No, you weren't. No, it was already very, very offensive at that time.
What was?
Nothing. I'm not talking about anything particular. Her eyebrow moved a little further north. It was in Iceland.
What?
Her eyebrow moved a little further north. And is it the fashion for everybody to be able to see your snipper?
Ooh.
Oh, God, Mum, don't call it that. Although this actually says, God, Mom, don't call it that. So you're trying to appeal to an American audience here. God, Mom, don't call it that. I tell you what, you should get a different actor to do to read it though, if you want it to sound American, because this guy's terrible at the American accent. Oh, Mom, don't call it that. What should I call it then? Nothing. You shouldn't even be talking about it. You're so gross. Gross, definitely going for an American audience there, you see. I'm a lady. I have one too. Why is this conversation happening? What the fuck? Why am I having this? How did you make me have this conversation with myself?
Yeah, I just wrote this yesterday and just wanted you to say all this stuff.
Yeah, just came up with a backstory for it. Yeah, I thought I'd get famous on Wattpad. Actually, that is a very unconvincing story. I can't believe I believed it.
I don't know. I guess I thought like as a 40-year-old man, I thought, what do women talk about? They probably talk about their vaginas, don't they? So
Yes.
I put that in chapter 1.
Yeah,
The second paragraph 2, they can have a conversation about their vaginas. Then they can talk about clothes, and they've talked about clothes and vaginas.
They've talked about clothes.
That's why I stopped writing it. I'd run out of things that women talk about.
Next thing was boys, but you've heard of this thing called the Bechdel test, and you're like, oh no, I don't want to fail that. I want my excellent feminist writing. Okay, clothes, vaginas. Nailed it. And yes, then no, why would you say that? Because it's true. What did you think when we pass 30 they heal over? Oh my God, please shut up. I'll tell you what, Blue is expressing my emotions about this story as well.
Yeah. There you go. Say I'm good.
By
I'm
all
a
means.
good writer of teenage fiction.
By all means, you put on a dress and some leggings and I'll be as silent as the grave. I suppressed my scream and, stomping up the stairs, took it into my room, where I dove on my bed and released it into my pillow. And then it says, hang on. When I was all screamed out, I rolled over and stared red-faced at my starry ceiling. I sometimes wished Mom would be as silent as the grave.
Wow.
Literally.
Oh, Jesus.
Whenever I thought this, though, I immediately felt guilty.
Okay.
And then I'd blame her for making me feel guilty and wish her dead all over again.
That sounds like a terrible loop to get stuck in. How did she get out of that?
Yeah, no, I wish you was dead. No, why did I wish you was dead? No, I wish you was dead for making you wish you was dead and then feel guilty. No, why did I wish you was dead? No.
The only way to get out of it is to actually kill her.
I went downstairs and murdered Mum. Oh, why did you make me murder her? I didn't get out of the loop. So I murdered her again.
Yeah.
No, why did you make me murder her twice? I better murder her for a third time. This time it's definitely going to no.
Yeah. Has anyone done a time loop movie where they keep murdering someone? Probably, right?
So there's one where someone keeps getting murdered because there's Happy Death Day, right?
Oh, yeah. Happy Death Day.
I think it's put more often from the victim's point of view, not just someone who keeps on a time loop and keeps murdering the same person and they're the hero. I'm not sure that one's been done.
Yeah,
you could probably call that one
yeah,
original.
Yeah, I'm going to do that one. Yeah.
Oh, God, she's alive again. I better get me knife and go and murder that poor innocent Blue again. No, Blue's mum, sorry. Anyway, then I'd blame her for making me feel guilty and wish her dead all over again. Why did she have to be so weird? If you'd asked anyone at school, they'd all reckon their parents were freaks. But my mom was definitely the freakiest. Even Mia's mom wasn't this freaky, and she had worked in an actual circus.
I did.
That's a good line.
Yeah,
Stupid, but good.
Yeah, that's where I think I fail on that line to be writing a teenage angst story. I'm I'm bored of my teenage angst story now, but I'd stop putting some jokes in.
Because teenagers can't do jokes.
Exactly. They're all about angst.
I mean, yeah, it's not the character you were trying to write, which is a very one-note kind of character. I mean, and the character of the writer rather than the actual character, if you know what I mean. Because you're trying to make it seems like you're trying to make it seem like the character in the story is a kind of self-insert, right? That's what you're going to be trying to do. You don't want people to think, oh, this is an adult man writing a character that's very different to himself. What you wanted them to believe is that it's a teenage girl writing a teenage girl, so that there's that her own true feelings are being channeled into the story. Although they're fictionalized characters, she really does feel this about her mum, right? Or sorry, her mom.
Yeah, her mom.
And when you write lines like, even Mia's mum wasn't this freak and she worked in an actual circus, it sounds like a writer.
Yes.
Not necessarily a good writer. No. It sounds like someone who's...
one. God, you've seen the title of the show. It is the best writer in the world, it's called, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a good line. But it seems like a fictional story in that line rather than a kind of semi-fictional story, I guess, doesn't it? It seems like there's no person called Mia and there's no mum there, and therefore there's no Blue and there's no Blue's mum. You know, they're not based on anything real. No one's got a friend whose mum was in the circus. That's not a real thing because circus don't exist.
And certainly not as a bearded lady. Because she's specifically referring to freaks, and most people, I mean, that's an outdated term anyway, but most people that work in circus, they just like jump through hoops or tame lions and things, don't they? Or be a clown.
Yeah. Absolutely. You don't have men putting dresses on and everyone going, oh my God, look, it's a man in a dress. Sorry, bearded lady. How can we possibly deal with this? Yeah. Or famously, what was it? Is it the shaved bear that was meant to be like the pig man or something? Something weird.
Yeah. And mermaids, which is people swimming in a tank with a bit of fish glued to them maybe. Although, of course, you do have...
That's not a mermaid. That's just a woman with a bit of cod glued to her hand. After I had calmed down, I put on some cute leggings and the shortest dress I could find. Yuck. So because it's being written by you, not because there's anything wrong with women doing that.
It's being written by a 13-year-old girl.
Because this is you. I stared at myself in the mirror. A thoroughly plain girl looked sadly back at me, her hair a knotted mess. I'm going to update this, okay? I stared at myself in the mirror. A normal adult man wearing cute leggings and a short dress stared back at me. Every morning, for as long as I can remember, I had spent hours trying to get my hair right until one hair. Okay, so we've got a third subject. It's all right, everybody. Don't worry. Howard's got a third subject for teenage girls to be interested in.
Hair.
I spent hours trying to get my hair right until one morning I'd realised it wasn't my hair that was the problem, it was my face. So I started combing my face and brushing, spraying hairspray on my face and putting gel on. It didn't work. I tried curling my face, didn't work. Straightened my face, didn't work. Still, if anything, it looked worse.
And then I got my face cut, and now I'm dead.
Now I realise when I went to the face cutter shop, to the face dresser, that wasn't a face dresser, that was a murderer. Why did he have a shop? Why did he have a shop? It's not okay. Who let that murderer have a shop and call himself a face dresser? And the thing is, of course, we say that, but of course, hair does grow on people's faces, and the hairdressers do. You don't have to go to a face dresser; you go to a hairdresser and have the hair on your face dealt with. That's fine. That's quite normal. So I guess maybe he is. I mean, we've decided this is a middle-aged man.
Yeah.
And he's just said it wasn't my hair that was the problem; it was my face, because he hasn't got any hair on his head, but he has got quite a long beard, and that's a real giveaway when he's trying to pretend to be a normal teenage girl. His massive grey beard is a dead giveaway. I better get rid of that. Yeah. No one's going to believe I'm a teenage girl at this rate.
He just shaves it off and glues it on top.
Now it's my hair that's the problem, because it looks like a beard glued on my bald head. That's not fooling anyone. It's a better story if it's about a middle-aged man. Anyway, so it wasn't my hair that was the problem, it was my face. Tiny eyes under pale eyebrows, and a flat, squidgy nose covered with freckles. Big sigh. My legs were my best feature, and with them covered up, Jason Romano would never notice me. Fudge it, I thought. The party would still be a blast. My bestie, Mia Lonsky, would be there, and her mum, who is a freak in a circus. And wherever Mia and her mum went, it was Mondo Bizarro in the best possible way. That's Bizarro World, which means that Superman is evil. Wherever Mia went, evil Superman turned up and had tyres thrown over him or something. Or put you in a trash compactor. I'm not sure what happened. Flicked peanuts at bottles of whiskey, right? But don't worry, Superman, you're just in a slump. So that's what I've understood from this, and that is the end.
Oh no, that's the end.
That's all there is.
Oh,
there is no more.
Well,
that is the whole thing.
Well, when I realise something's a bad idea, I stop pretty quick.
Wait a minute, this is a terrible idea.
I need to get myself an old man pad instead.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Worst Writer in the World. If you're unsatisfied and want more, go to patreon.com/manbycow and get it by milk.
Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.